Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to Raise the Hold, episode 61, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. And today we wrap up the season of 22-23. It's been a weird season, hasn't it, with the mid-year World Cup, which has kind of messed things up a little bit for us. Not messed things up for us personally, but just in terms of the league season. And yeah, we're going to wrap that up against Swansea. Then after the Swansea game, there'll be our end of season awards, a spectacular event as always, and of course goal of the season, which you can vote on. So there's much more to this than just the Swansea game. But since last episode, we've played 2 games. The top 4 spot was pretty much guaranteed. So we're coasting through. But we got 2 good wins. First up, it was against Burnley. Now this game, it was actually quite a tough game, to be honest. Burnley, I think they rock bottom, or last, whichever you want to go with there. Yeah, but they gave us a really, really tough game. Rodrigo in the 94th minute scored a really, really good goal, actually, to sneak us the win. And he was literally the difference, just a little bit of quality up top. You can see Tom Heaton, for them, their goalkeeper, was probably the best player he was the best player on the field. So that says a little bit, I think, about how the game went. But they certainly gave us the game. And then we played Manchester United, and the first half in this game was an absolute snooze fest, to be honest. Nothing happened. Second half, we were really, really good. Again, Rodrigo, this time we gave him the start, and he got the winner for us in the 79th minute. And it was good to get a win over Manchester United, because if we have a look at the league table, coming into the final game of round of games here, it pretty much did secure a third spot for us. Technically, we could get the second, but not really, because goal difference is going to mess us up. So we're third. That's how it's going to be. I'm not too worried about losing the 5 points anymore, because as you can see behind my head here, we've passed the financial fair play regulations for the wages. I always was kind of confident it would be fine, but the longer that stayed red, I was getting a little bit nervous. But in the end, it has clicked over to green for us. But even if it goes back to red and we lose those 5 points, we might, worst case scenario, come fourth. And to be honest, third and fourth doesn't really make that much difference, does it? So let's have a look at the final team we're sending out in this season. Now, one thing to mention, Gaz Mosley, he's not available for this game. If we scroll down here, where is he? Gaz, he's at the Under-20 World Cup with England, so congratulations, Gaz. Hopefully you'll come back with a trophy for us all. But yeah, otherwise, we're going to go with some of the kids for this one. But Livakovic goes in goal. David Bergkamp II gets his debut, along with Rodrigo and Gumni as a back four. Godfrey in the anchorman role. Silla and Lee Hendry in midfield. Nick Roberts, Marin go down the wings with Brian Carlos, hopefully finally breaking this goal drought he's on. And just a reminder that Harry Thomas is on loan at Blackpool, and Paul Walker, you're on loan at Nottingham Forest, apparently tearing up the championship, according to every press conference I've had for about the last month. So that's good to see. We'll get both of them back in next year and getting them back in the first team. What do we say to this? We're away from home. Let's go out there. Go out there and impress me. We've been on a good run. So can't we have faith? I did bring the wingers back for this one just because. Just because. No real reason for it. Just we haven't played with wingers for a while, so I thought let's get them back in there. So player of the year. Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? I think it's got to be either Almeida, Rodrigo, probably Rodrigo. Grealish should have to be in with a shout. And what I learned from last year is just never write off Livakovic, because he's apparently a fan's favourite, which maybe is a tick in the box for why we shouldn't sell him for next year. The other thought I had with Gaz Mosley for next year is, do we potentially look to loan him out to, say, like a Championship club or another Premier League club, sort of as higher up as we can? I wouldn't want to go below Championship. To get him first team football, so he can get sort of a full year as a first team up. Nick Roberts, nice little ball in there for Brian Carlos. Can he get an assist here? Silla's offside, I think. Yeah. Oh, unlucky. Just didn't quite time it. So he has a season of first team football, sort of week in, week out football. Just missed time to run there, Silla. Seemed to hold it just for a second, didn't he? And then look to bring him in as our first teamer. I still haven't really decided, because we do have Cadell here, who is a ready-made number 2. I mean, you could argue he could come in and play number 1. Here's Marin with a set piece. Marin! Oh, it's a bit of a ropey effort there from Golini in goal. Former Villa favourite, of course. That's almost gone in, hasn't it? Inches away. Less than inches. Millimetres, even. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We will do a transfer special next episode, sort of working through. We're going to try and cull. We're going to just get rid of some of the dead weight, I think, and let's go aggressive. Far from pleased with that. Yeah, just try and get rid of some of the dead weight, make some room for some of these youngsters we have. We have some really good prospects coming through the academy. If you do want to have them named after you as ever, let me know in the comments or at Aussie Villa on Twitter. Yeah, so I want to try and make some room for them. So we'll kind of see how we go. Let's go attacking here. Let's try and exploit the flanks as well. According to the heat map, they play really wide, so I thought maybe we could pick some holes through the middle, but that's not really materializing, is it? Do we want to make some changes here? We probably should. We do have Alina on the bench. We also have McGinn. Let's try McGinn as... I know I want to leave... No, we'll bring. I was going to say, should we try McGinn as an advanced playmaker, but let's not. Let's leave it at that. Is there anybody else we want to bring on? Not really, to be honest. Just try somebody else in there to try and create a spark for us. We'll try demand more here next shout when we can. Didn't really want a 0-0 to end the season, if I'm honest, though I'd rather a 0-0 than a 1-0 loss. Oh, it's still there, is it? It's hacked clear by Godfrey. Yeah, we've kind of ended the season looking relatively good defensively, though we've got a bit of work to do here. Oh, off the line, David Burkett the second saves our skins there. Yeah, we looked okay defensively. We have kind of struggled a little bit to score goals, but it's that time of the year, though, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing to play for, so... yeah, it's not the most entertaining. But it's a nice little warm-up for the... Oh, how's he missed that? Nice little warm-up for the end-of-season awards. I'll go and get my tuxedo on after this game. Maran's looking a little tired there. Let's try bringing Colin on. And do we bring Borja on for like a potentially final game? I know David said in the comments to try having a one-on-one talk. As I said in the comments, I've done that. I've tried everything. I can only imagine that I've changed something tactically, or I've changed a player role behind him. I've done something, and it just has not suited him. So that's an absolutely boring way to end the year. Sorry about that, guys. Decent performance from Gumney. Might be his last appearance in a Villa shirt as well. But I'm going to say, yeah, it's not really good enough, that is it. So there we go, and that is how the league season ends up. We end up third, so one worse than last year, which is a little bit disappointing. But we did qualify for the Champions League, and we do have... I did get the initial budget. There you go, David Burkamp the second makes his professional debut. I did get the initial budget for next season. We'll have a quick look at it. I think it was 80 million. 80 million transfers, and we have essentially the same wage budget. It's a little bit more, isn't it? It's about 80 grand more. So some money to spend and ways to spend it. But yeah, guys, wait right there. It is time for the end of season awards. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get excited. It's the Aston Villa end of season awards.
For BBC West Midlands, please.
Yes, BBC WM, yes.
What are your thoughts on the season?
Brilliant night, mate. Have a good one. Thoughts on the season? Well, first of all, tonight, I mean, look at this. I love the awards night. It's my favourite night of the year. Season, I think it's gone okay. Could have gone better. Winter World Cup, I think, was a little bit strange, wasn't it? Kind of messed things up a little bit for us, fixtures-wise. But overall, I think we can be proud of our season, yeah.
Who's going to win the awards tonight, Aussie Villa?
Yes, well done, mate. Good season. Enjoy your evening. Who's going to win tonight? Well, I mean, that man, Livakovic, he's just a solid star in goal, isn't he? But I think Rodrigo's had a good year. Almeida, Grealish. I mean, we've had a squad full of stars. They all deserve recognition, but I'm sure the right people will win the awards, yeah.
And finally, Aussie, who are you wearing?
Cracking season. Who am I wearing? I am wearing Mr. Klein this evening. I believe it's a line by Calvin's dad. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2022-23 Aston Villa End of Season Awards. It's been a relatively good season, I'd say. I think one that we can be proud of. We're back in the Champions League again next year, which I think is definitely something to be proud of. And I think every single one of the playing staff deserves a congratulatory round of applause for what's been a really, really good season. That's enough of the preamble from me. Let's get down to the awards. And the first one tonight is the Golden Pen for the best signing of the season. And this year, £49.5 million from Real Madrid. The winner is Rodrigo. And next up this evening, it's the Golden Card awarded to the man with the most bookings through the year. And this year, sensationally, it's a tie. It's a dead heat with 5 yellow cards from 28 games. It's James Bree and Emerson. And now it's time for the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the player with the best pass completion rate. With 91% this year, that award goes to John McGinn. And next up this evening, the awards keep on coming. It's the Golden Spoon. It's the man that feeds the strikers most assists. And this season, the award goes to, in his last season at Aston Villa, Lazar Markovic. And now it's time for the Golden Anchor. This award goes to, of course, the anchor of the team, the man we can rely on. It is the highest average rating. And this year, with a 7.17 average, the award goes to Rodrigo. And now it's time for the Golden Soother. This award goes to the baby of the team, the young player of the year. And don't sit down, because the winner is Rodrigo. Next up, it is the Golden Boot. Of course, the award for the most goals this season. And everybody all together, we know who it is. It is Rodrigo. Alright, the night is rapidly coming to a close, but let's take a moment to have a look at our Team of the Year. Now, if you just direct your eyes up to the board, you will see that our Team of the Year is Livakovic in goals. It's Emerson, Holgate, Chambers and Bree as a back four. McGinn and Grealish are the two in midfield. Almeida plays in the number 10. The wingers are Marin and Markovic. And the front man, none other than Golden Boot winner, Rodrigo. Congratulations to the Team of the Year, everybody. And now it's time for the big one, the final award of the evening. It is, of course, the Golden Star for our Player of the Year. Now, there are many, many players who could justifiably hold a claim over this award. This is voted by the fans, though, so don't hold me responsible. The winner, with 35% of the vote, is Jack Grealish. So there we have it. That is the end of the evening. Congratulations to Jack, Rodrigo, and all the other award winners. Just a quick personal thank you to Lazar Markovic, who has been sensational this year, but unfortunately will not be getting a new contract at the club. So show yourself out, please, Lazar. But that's all for this evening, guys. Thank you so much for everybody in the auditorium. Thank you for you watching at home. And we'll see you next year for a big year at Villa Park. Thank you, everybody. So there we have it, always a favourite of mine, the end of season awards. Now for those who are a little bit more visual, let's have a quick run through of the awards here. As we can see, Jack Grealish was the player of the year. Tied vote this year, only 35%, ahead of Livakovic and Almeida. Alpha Stiller was the goal of the season. There'll be more to come on that in just a second. We do have our own competition for those of you who are new. Signing of the year was Rodrigo. Young player of the year was Rodrigo. Top goal scorer was Rodrigo. Highest average rating was Rodrigo. There is a theme here, isn't there? Who was our best player this year, I wonder? Markovic got the most assists with 7. Unfortunately, it looks like his career at Villa is coming to an end, though. We don't think we're renewing his contract. Best pass completion was John McGinn at 91%. Most man of the match awards, not an award we give out on the evening, but Grealish, Markovic, and Almeida all with 3. Again, Markovic, it seems harsh not renewing his contract, doesn't it? And the golden card for most bookings, sensationally, a tie between Bree and Emerson, both with 28 games played. Unbelievable, that, isn't it? And we can see the Team of the Year there, but we saw that on the night. Season in review. Lost in the first knockout round of the Champions League. I think we got shown up a little bit in Europe this year. We'll be back stronger next year, though. Third in the Premier League, a drop-off one from last year, but not too bad. I do think having, with that mid-season break because of the World Cup, I think that having so many games back-to-back maybe cost us it was a weird season, wasn't it? So it'd be interesting to see next year if we can improve having sort of a more regular schedule. FA Cup, we lost in the third round to Millwall on penalties with 9 men, if you remember that. That was a bit of a disappointment, wasn't it? And we lost in the third round of the Carabao Cup to Arsenal with our kids. Match of the season, the 4-1 win over Wolves. It's always a good one, isn't it, when you can smash Wolverhampton. Moment to forget, a 2-1 against Man City. I tell you what, if a 2-1 loss away to Manchester City is your moment to forget, then you had a decent year, haven't you? Average attendance, of course, Villa Park is a 50,000 seated these days. We didn't quite fill it, 93% full. 35 players, highest in the league. That is the Aussie Villain Trophy, so well done to me. I do like to use as many players as possible. Squad dynamics, quick look at this. Grealish, Livakovic and AR. Now, if we were to sell Livakovic, that's something to take into consideration, isn't it? But there's players below him here, I'm sure, that would push up and take his spot. End of season team meeting, we'll do that afterwards. We're going to want to win the league next year. I can tell you that is what our ambition is going to be. End of season injury report. There's nothing else really there we want to mention, I don't think, is there. So that is it for this episode and this season, guys. There is a goal of the season competition to come. What I did want to just mention quickly, though, I'm just looking for some feedback here. What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Trying to make it sort of every episode so it's a little bit better than the last. Every season a little bit better than the last as well. So if there's something that I do that you don't particularly like, I don't know if you guys like. Do you watch Goals of the Month? Do you even know what Goals of the Month is? Episode lengths. Is there something that I don't show enough of? Like, I don't know, training, player development, things like that. I try to show attributes where, when I mention a player, but I need to do more of that. Just any sort of feedback like that you have. I try to keep episodes between 20-25 minutes where I can, because I feel like that's what I personally would like. So any feedback, please, guys, do make sure you leave that for me in the comments. If you have enjoyed this episode and this season, please do hit like and subscribe if you're new. I'm pushing towards that 1,000, so come on, Aussie Villa, let's get to that 1,000 by the end of April. But yeah, so that's it. It's goal of the season time. Now, the way that this works is that there's obviously there's a Silla goal we can vote for, and then I'll choose 3 others that I think are worthy of being crowned goal of the season. There'll be a little eye on the icon in the top corner there. At the end of the video, make sure you click that icon, vote for your favourite. But before we get to those final 4 goals, here are a few honourable mentions. I'll see you next season. Take care. Here are our top 4 goals from the 22-23 season. Click the eye to vote for your favourite.